Well, we're here again. Now, this could be potentially a long video because a lot of you guys are going to want to know what I think about Call of Duty Vanguard, the beta. But also, there's going to be a portion of you guys who want to know, where the hell have you been for the last 6 months, boy? Where was your last upload? Why is it the last upload you done was 6 months ago? It's unacceptable, Trakky, unacceptable. And I'm here to explain why. So I'll try and explain why first. For those of you who haven't got the patience for that and just want to know my review, feel free, I should say, to fast forward to that portion of the video. I'll try and link it down in the description with a timestamp for you guys if you can't be bothered to wait. But there are going to be a portion of you who are really interested to know where I've been. So the reality is, as some of you may have guessed already, I haven't enjoyed Call of Duty for a long period of time. I've tried my best to enjoy it, and there's definitely been portions of the game that I've enjoyed of the last installments, but there seems to be an outweighing balance of negative things that I disliked about the games, especially games like Modern Warfare 2019. And I feel like the only real saving grace was Call of Duty Warzone, but that became so riddled with cheaters, and Activision's reluctancy to actually incorporate a real anti-cheat system just made me make that decision to step away from YouTube for a while. Why did I make that decision? Simply because I'm one of these people that if I meet you and I don't like you, you will know I don't like you, because I find it very hard to mask my emotions, and you guys would hear it devastatingly easy in my voice that I wasn't enjoying doing YouTube anymore. And that's not what you guys deserve if you're tuning into my channel. You're here for me to be entertained or hear my point of view or whatever it is. The best I can do for you guys is give you my 110% every upload, and that's the proverso that I've always based my channel on. So I wasn't going to give you substandard videos, and I chose to take a break, not only from YouTube, but just social media platforms in general, because as you guys have probably guessed, they can become quite toxic. And these things, no matter how stiff, how much of a stiff upper lip you have, or how hard you think you are emotionally and mentally, it does get to you at times that there are these people that are hell-bent on just being nasty to you consistently. And what's going on in the world right now, there's been a lot of divisive things going on in the media to make people feel like shit and make people argue, and that's not something I'm really into. I am someone that wholeheartedly loves debates, and I love to speak to people that have a difference of opinion with me and try and find some type of middle ground. And even if we can't, I'm not someone who's going to chastise you and berate you because you have a difference of opinion with me. I'm quite a relaxed and open-minded person. Well, that's what I like to think anyway. Now, the one massive thing I'm going to say about Vanguard before we move on any further into this video is I would say Vanguard is almost a carbon copy of Modern Warfare 2019. I'm going to say it's a very lazy attempt to make Call of Duty, and it's something that is becoming unforgivable from the developers when they have failed to do their job in the allotted time period that they've had to make Call of Duties. So they think it's acceptable to give us a second-rate game that's been reskinned, and then we go and pay top dollar for it. If anything, I would say that this game could have been a DLC pack for the likes of Modern Warfare 2019. And the reason I'm saying this is because it's very clear that the game that is taking precedence here over the multiplayer aspect of the game is Warzone, and Warzone is simply going to have a map change soon, and the whole entire thing will look like World War II, and it's quite clear that that's a reskin job to do that, and that is exactly what they've seemed to have done for Call of Duty Vanguard. Now, what I will say to oppose that is it does feel like a better flowing Call of Duty than Modern Warfare 2019. I was mortified to see doors come back, but it seems like you can destroy doors and make them redundant for the rest of the game. So initially, the first few skirmishes in the game, there's doors, but you can, you know, blow them up and shoot them out, melee them out, all that sort of stuff, which is something that is a change that I'd prefer not to see doors, but it's a welcome change to me. Now, although I'm going to be slightly in danger of contradicting myself to a degree, but I will explain. I was very glad to hear that it was going to share a similar engine, if not the identical engine that Modern Warfare 2019 was run on. Now, some of you may have taken your headphones out or be scratching your head now thinking, what the hell? Trakky didn't even like Modern Warfare 2019. Now, yes, this is true. And as you guys who have followed me for a period of time will know, I believe it's the worst Call of Duty that I've ever played. Now, played is the magic word there, because when it comes to playability, that's why it goes down in the bottom of the list. However, Modern Warfare 2019 has to be, to me, the prettiest Call of Duty, the most beautiful looking Call of Duty I have ever played, the most immersive Call of Duty in terms of aesthetics and stuff, definitely. So to hear that Vanguard was going to do the same thing was brilliant, especially after the washed out look that we received with Call of Duty Cold War. And I was struggling to remember the name there because it's such a forgettable Call of Duty. So, yes, the sound and the look of the game is absolutely brilliant, although there were certain things that come with the look of the game that I wasn't at all pleased with. Why the hell do I need Ray-Ban shades to play Call of Duty Vanguard? This sun thing, I don't really get what's going on, and I understand you could turn the pixels off, but there's certain elements, like if you was to throw like a thermite, that would detract from that and make that look worse, simply because they've chose to put this lens flare in that's just not necessary in a game that is all about reaction times and who can shoot the fastest. And these are the things that I've struggled with Call of Duty over the last few years. Although, again, I will back up Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 and say that, yes, aesthetically, that game was very pleasing. But overall, I think we forget that very quickly as Call of Duty players. So moving forward, something else I really liked about this game was the fact that they continued the theme with the actual gunsmith. I think that's one of the best additions to Call of Duty in recent times and recent years. And to see that they've taken a leaf out of Modern Warfare 3's book, which is one of my favourite Call of Duties, and put weapon proficiencies on top of the gunsmith is only a good thing. My only slight reservation about this is this going to come back to bite the developers in the arse when it comes to balancing guns? Because it's getting a little claustrophobic in the gunsmith, if you ask me now. It's getting a bit complicated, and this is something that I don't like in Call of Duty. I don't like things being too complex, and I think that's why people love the perk system in Modern Warfare 2 or the perk system in Black Ops 2. Simple pick 10 system. Yes, there's a lot of variety and a lot of different combinations, but ultimately you have to pick a set regime of things so it doesn't get too complicated. And if you want to complicate it just that bit more, then you have to utilize a wild card, which will penalize you in turn, which is still one of the best class systems I've ever seen in Call of Duty. So moving forward, hand in hand that comes with the likes of visuals is going to be audio. Now, I recently plugged my Astros back into my PC because on the PlayStation 5 they had this ingenious idea to get rid of the optic input, so I couldn't use my Astros. I had to use different headphones, and it was just a complex thing. And that's another reason why you didn't get videos for me, because you wouldn't get no audio if I was playing with somebody else, because to hear them, then you guys wouldn't hear the game. So it was just a nightmare logistically for me to have fun and as a counter product play Call of Duty with my mate and get footage for you guys at the same time. I literally had to schedule it like a job, and that made me hate it. But going back to the audio, I just didn't get what was going on. The game sounded very low to me, very flat. I was very pleased to report back to you guys that footstep audio wasn't like elephants were running around, or the Tyrannosaurus Rex was back from extinction. It was nothing like Modern Warfare 2019, but it was quite the contrary. It was probably too quiet for me in terms of footsteps. And I don't like the fact segueing on to perks, because this has to be involved with this. I was just so devastated to see that Dead Silence is returning as a field upgrade. The field upgrade stuff I do like, but Dead Silence should be a perk, and I'm going to remain with that. However, I was very happy to see that even though red dots don't appear on the minimap, there is a perk that will show people on the minimap. Now, personally, I feel like that's a bit of a kick in the teeth for people that have to use a perk to see that sort of stuff. I think it's a standard traditional thing that should always be in Call of Duty as a basic default setting and not be a perk. But if there's a compromise to be made, then they've made one, in my personal opinion. And that's another reason why I believe Dead Silence should be a perk as well, because it will really diversify what you have to select. So if they're trying to protect certain individuals, there's a degree of protection there, but we also, as rushers I'm talking about here, get to play the game in more of a style that we wanted to play. So the maps I have to say are probably the worst portion of the game that I played and enjoyed. I don't like them. I didn't like any of them. And I feel like this whole system to try and circumvent the issues with the maps being too big, this blitz mode, the assault mode, the tactical mode, whilst I think this is a clever idea, I believe it's just bad development. And the reason I believe it's just bad development, because it's basically me believing that they have used this to wallpaper over the cracks of the poor decisions they've made with the maps. Listen, if you design a very good map, the players will dictate the flow, and choke points and stuff like that will dictate flows of the map. And you will have 6v6 games that will be crazy. If we have maps like Dome, obviously Nuketown's one I'm not going to mention because it's just been done to death, but maps like Dome, maps like Combine off Black Ops 3, they were smaller maps for 6v6, but there was higher engagement rates in those particular maps. But even the bigger maps still were fast and frantic and made Call of Duty feel like an arcade shooter, which it is. It's a fast twitch paced shooter. I'm not into this tactical nonsense unless you're playing search and destroy. And right now, if we look at Modern Warfare 2019, I believe that game mode is what is still carrying that game if we put aside Call of Duty Warzone. So overall, it just was too much of a complex system to me. And even when I believed I selected the, I think it was assault mode I chose, it was still throwing in the 24v24, the 10v10, and the maps were either all hell breaking loose and too chaotic, or you didn't see no one for minutes on end. The balance that was correct for me was the assault, but it was simple to see for me that certain maps were just too large and they need to go back to the traditional. I don't care if it's not the 3-lane simplified system, just make these damn maps smaller, because right now I shouldn't be chasing around the map for 30-40 seconds trying to find my next target to get my kill streaks. And whilst we're on the topic of kill streaks, I didn't like them at all. I found them quite trivial, quite boring. The glide bomb, it's been done before in Call of Duty World War II. It's very hard to control on the PC. I'm not sure what it's like on controller, but it was almost, you see me in these gameplays, really struggling with the sensitivity I had to actually place it in any real realm of any enemies. The dogs didn't seem that useful when I actually did get them. Unfortunately, I didn't hit the big red record button. And one more thing that I really disliked about this game is a sense of historical accuracy. I know the gunsmith is back and I do like it, but there's certain caliber of bullets that are going in certain guns that if you know anything about machine arms and stuff like that, they shouldn't be going there. Now I understand it is an arcade shooter and it is fictional, but if you're going to set a game in a time period, then at least try and stay within the realms of that time period. And I've had this debate with people on my channel before when I was pretty upset that Express came to Cold War and it didn't look like a Cold War map, but plenty of people were happy that it was still a futuristic thing, which just left me scratching my head. Now, I'm not going to rant on any more about what I believe about this game until the game actually comes out, but for me, it wasn't a beta. This is very close to the full game, if not the full game, and there are still glaring issues with Call of Duty, and it is very obvious and heartbreaking to see overall that this game definitely comes second now to Call of Duty Warzone, which is a shame because if it wasn't for the traditional Call of Duty, there would not be a Call of Duty Warzone. And with everything that's going on behind closed doors with Activision, who knows what's going to happen in the future? Maybe Bobby Kotick will be finally kicked to the curb. That's something we can all pray to the mighty gaming gods for. But I'll tell you what, guys, it's very good to be back. Sorry about the long video, but there's a lot been going on and there's a lot that hasn't been going on in terms of my channel. But going forward, I don't know if it's going to be Call of Duty, whether it's going to be Warzone because of the introduction of an actual anti-cheat system. But you better believe I worked my absolute socks off to get my channel to where it is now, and I'm not just going to let it disappear because I can't be bothered. I will be back. In what capacity, I don't quite know, but I hope you're there to support me when I finally return. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but a like and subscribe button, I hope they took your fancy, and as always, guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.
Yeah, mash up his bomb clock because this geezer killed me bare time.